The need for population census has again been brought to the front burner. This time, it is at a one-day population conversation seminar held in Abuja, Nigeria's capital city. The event is put together by Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center, CISLAC, in partnership with Population Matters. Executive Director, CISLAC, Musa Rafsanjani, explained why proper planning for the various groups and sectors in the country can lead to social, economic, and political prosperity.
A lot of people are unnecessarily producing children that they cannot take care of, and that is why the number of out of school children, the number of street children, the number of almajiri is overwhelming in the country, because there has not been any reflection or any effort to ensure that at least people plan on the kind of family they should have. So with all these crises that we are facing, street children, almajiri children, abundant children, they have become a source for recruitment for criminals. Bandits are taking these children because they are out of school. Boko Haram is doing that. Other political, criminals who are engaging in political violence, they are also recruiting these kids because we do not face reality. If in the past you produced 30 children, the reality is that now you cannot, unless you don't want to give quality life to those children. So it is important to begin to talk to ourselves the truth about how to plan properly for meaningful upbringing of our kids in this country. It's very disheartening to see kids of 5 years, 3 years, roaming on the street. No parental care, no community care. Government doesn't even care about anybody anymore. So it is important that we begin to do something drastic to ensure that we advise Nigerians to plan properly for their family and for the society, because we want to have productive population. We don't want to have population that is only being used for political violence or religious violence or for other criminality that is going on in the country. No country will allow its citizens just to go astray like that. So CISLAC is glad to see that we begin to have this conversation, have this reality on the ground, so that we can actually deal decisively with poverty, with so many problems associated with lack of control in our family setting, as of course, as well as lack of planning for the nation.
For other stakeholders, nations such as Nigeria can manage population through birth control and other family planning methods.
And so according to IPBX, that's Intergovernmental Panel for Biodiversity and Ecosystem Assessment 2018 reports, they found that unless urgent and concrete action is taken, land degradation in the tropics will worsen in the face of, now look at the two drivers, in the face of population growth and unprecedented consumption. So now this IPBX report is in variance with the recent survey. I'm sure that's going to be made known to us here, the findings by Population Matters, where majority of the 723 key informants could not perceive the link between population growth and ecosystem well-being. And of course, when we talk about ecosystem, we are referring to all life forms, you, animals, plants, and our ecosystems. And then there's another organization called Population Action International, and they have come up with this finding that with this projection that the world population is going to increase to 8 billion before the middle of the century. Now, Nigeria being the most populated country in Africa, that concerns us. That concerns us because in the humid tropics, we have diversity. We have beautiful need to take this conversation, step it up, let the government see what the predicaments we are going to face. And he talked a lot, the last speaker spoke a lot about government not giving enough. That's why we have a lot of destitute children roaming the streets. It's because all we depend on is our oil. But if we can look at our ecotourism potential, and that's our biodiversity, and one way of securing it is to maintain their habitats. And one way of maintaining their habitat is to ensure that we are able to control our human population. So our fertility growth rates, the total fertility growth rate of Nigeria is 5.3. That means on the average, every Nigerian woman within the reproductive age will give birth to 5 children throughout her lifespan of reproduction. Girls aged 15 to 19 in Nigeria have started bearing children. Either they're pregnant or they're already given birth to children. 19% of them. Our maternal mortality rate is 512 over 100,000 live births. And how do we manage our population in Nigeria? One of the key things is family planning. Our contraceptive prevalence rate for modern contraception is only 12%, one of the lowest in the world. Then women who want to space or limit their birth, we classify them as unmet needs for family planning. 19% of those women do not have access to information nor the contraceptives themselves, wherever they are. In 2022, November 15 precisely, the world population became 8 billion strong. And 9 countries in the world were fingered or mentioned by the World Population Prospect, that's the United Nations data, that contributed to that growth. And thereafter they said 8 countries in the world is going to contribute to the rapid growth of the world population up to 2050. And 5 of the 8 countries are in Africa. Guess what? Nigeria is leading. Egypt is there. Tanzania is there. So these are the drivers of the world population. And people that spoke before me spoke about our population being large, growing, and all that. We can have a large population, but if we have a good investment on the population, they become an asset. So one of the problems we've had, which the National Population Commission is doing all its best to make sure both the people and the government, because dealing with our large population has to do with not just the government, but also the people. All of us must contribute to managing our population.
It is now public knowledge that the federal government, through the National Population Commission, is planning for the conduct of the 2024 national census. Emmanuel Onu, News 24.